Yes, I'd like to express my concerns about the wholly inadequate approach that we've had to approving this budget. It's a 2-year budget, and we haven't really had a lot of interplay back and forth. It's been somewhat perfunctory, in my opinion. I do have some additional questions, including perhaps where some of the money might be for the library or for other purposes. This was described as a status quo budget. And if you look on page A3 in the budget, the employment in the city is holding constant, 645.1 positions. But there's a pretty large increase in part-time hours and full-time equivalents down here. And it equates to as many as 13 positions for the 11-12 budget year, and just a little bit less for the 12-13 budget year. I've ferreted through most of the departments to find out where that rate of growth is expressed. There's some give and take on it, but we haven't heard any explanations by department heads as to the necessity of all those FTEs.
We could certainly, at pleasure of the council, we'd be happy to go to the through those FTEs. Some of those are grant funds, the Cal Grant program, et cetera. But Julia, why don't you go through those?
Joe, we need to get your mic turned back on, or the one's there.
Oh, okay. I would have to have each department head answer specifically for their department in terms of the changes in FTEs, because I do not have that detail in my notes. So would we like to do it that way?
Well, I for one find it rather strange that you waited until a motion was made and seconded and approved before you bring these issues up. You have every right in the world to do so, but I wonder why you didn't bring them up.
That motion evolved from a single motion involving the library to be the entire enchilada. That was the reason. This started out as being strictly the library issue, but then it encompassed the entire thing. So my sense is that that this is a difficult budget year. We're really at the trough of the recession right now. We should all know with certitude what's in this budget. I'm not confident that that's the case. I heard the mayor mention that this is kind of a rolling budget, and the city manager expressed earlier that it was more or less a living document. We're going to make a lot of adjustments. Some of that is of necessity because of the bargaining situation with the labor groups. I understand that. However, I think that the process has been, again, very rushed, pretty much inadequate. We had one public hearing prior to this, didn't get a whole lot of public input. It was kind of didactic the way that it went. And we haven't heard from department heads at all, at least in a formal public way, beyond that one hearing. So my other concerns are that certain issues like this, I think, need to be explained. That detail hasn't been available at this point. And that, second of all, that this budget is an imbalanced budget, which is against city policy, even though it's been explained that's for a short term. But in my opinion, I'd be reluctant to support a budget that's imbalanced. Second thing is that it relies on revenues that are assumed even from the in lieu franchise fee on the proposed water rate increase, something that I've expressed concern about, that should be frozen, should not be passed on to ratepayers. So perhaps you are surprised at this. I'm a little bit surprised at the rush to the altar on this budget.